Most people staying calm during conflict means staying quiet. But quiet isn't always calm. Sometimes quiet is something else entirely. Sometimes quiet is the moment you shut down. You know that feeling. Someone saying something critical and your chest tightens. Maybe they say, "You never listen," or they interrupt you while you were speaking, or they dismiss something that mattered to you. And in that moment, something shifts. Most people do one of two things. They react, or they just disappear into silence. But there is another way to move through that moment. Most conflict escalates for a simple reason. People react before they slow the moment down. Someone says something frustrating, and suddenly you feel the need to defend yourself. I know I do. Someone criticizes you, and now you feel like you have to explain everything. Someone raises their voice, and you feel yourself getting louder too, or shutting down completely. These reactions happen fast. Your body responds before your mind has time to catch up. And that's why conflict feels so difficult. It moves faster, those emotions, faster than awareness. And I teach a process called ethical navigation model. And it helps people move through difficult conversations without getting pulled into the automatic reactions, your emotions that start to rise. The simple steps are regulate, align, consider, navigate, express. But the first step is the most important: regulation. And regulation really means something just simple: to pause. Listen to yourself, listen to others, and then choose. When conflict appears, the first skill is learning how to slow down that moment. Pause just for a few seconds. A breath. I know everybody's heard this before, but that pause creates space. And then listen, not to just what the words are being said, but to what the other person might be actually feeling. And then choose. Choose how you want to show up in the conversation. Not just what you say, but the kind of presence that you want to bring in that moment. Because the pause is where the reaction ends, where you can start breaking those patterns and choice begins. And once you slow down the moment, you can begin moving through the rest of the process. You align with the values you want to lead with. You can consider what you actually is happening in the conversation. And then, when you start to navigate the moment intentionally, navigation simply means choosing how you move through the conversation. And some people move through conflict as a peacekeeper. I know personally. And then they try to avoid the disagreement at all costs. But others will move through conflict more outspoken. They push, they point strongly. And neither of them are automatically wrong. But under stress, those navigation patterns can become reactive when you're emotional. So learning to recognize your patterns helps you to return to a balance. So let me make a simple example. Someone says, "You never listen." And most people immediately respond, "That is not true." But that response becomes a reaction. And if you respond first and pause, the moment can shift. And you might say, "You know what? It sounds like you're frustrated. What feels unheard right now?" It's the same conversation, but you see, the direction changes. Instead of escalating the conflict, you pause, you slow down. Conflict itself does not destroy relationships. Unregulated reactions do. And the real skill is learning how to slow down the moment. Pause, listen, choose. And when you do that, conversations begin to change. And remember something simple. Do not let conflict steal your joy in your relationships. And if this has helped you in any way to understand conflict differently, subscribe for more lessons on communication and emotional regulation.